It was a cold-blooded murder. The violence was excessive and gratuitous. It was intended to cause maximum harm. The 3 victims died with the wounds caused by the axe you wielded against them. The 4th survived, albeit with serious injuries. The clear intent was to kill her as well. We have no explanation for what you did. You have displayed no remorse. We have heard extensive evidence of the consequences of your conduct, the cruel consequences. Yet we have no explanation from you. No substantial and compelling circumstances have been placed before us. There appear to be none. Whatever the statutory minimum sentence regime, the same severe sentences would in any event follow. And I say this with some regret, although you are relatively young and with no previous convictions. Your conduct warrants the severest possible penalty. Society expects no less. The crimes warrant such a result. And your circumstances, personal circumstances, are not sufficiently compelling to come to any different conclusions. In the result, on count 1, the murder of Henri van Breda, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. On count 2, the murder of Martin van Breda, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. On count 3, the murder of Tracey van Breda, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. For the attempted murder of Henri van Breda, you are sentenced to 15 years imprisonment. On count 5, obstructing the course of justice, for the administration of justice, as set out in the charge sheet, you are sentenced to 12 months imprisonment.
It's Tracey Stewart from Cape Town, etc., and I am here with Kelly Phelps, who is a lecturer at UCT, and we are standing outside the steps of the Western Cape High Court, where Judge Desai just delivered the sentencing for Henri van Breda. So the result of that was not really a surprise. 3 life sentences were handed down for the premeditated murders. 15 years was handed down for the attempted murders, and then 12 months for the obstruction of justice. So not really surprising, Kelly, given that there were no substantial and compelling circumstances which would warrant a deviation from that sentence.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the judge's hands were really tied because in order to find substantial and compelling circumstances, he would have needed to have evidence to base that off, and at the sentencing trial neither of the parties really tendered any substantial new evidence.
Yeah. What the defense, I think, quite cleverly did is that they told the judge, they noted in court after the sentence was handed out that they will be filing an application for appeal against both the conviction and the sentencing. So we were right. Kelly and I had a discussion about this, and we did actually predict that would happen. So the application for leave to appeal is set down to be heard on the 27th of June. Do you want to talk us through that process?
Well, absolutely. So it's a 2-stage process. Before we can actually talk of an appeal, they first need to overcome the hurdle of leave to appeal, and that's essentially asking permission from the court to have the appeal itself.
So on the 27th of June, they effectively need to ask Judge Desai for that permission to be given leave to appeal.
Absolutely, and if they're unsuccessful with Judge Desai, then they can still apply directly to the Supreme Court of Appeal for leave to appeal. So this is by no means over, this trial yet. That was clearly signaled today, and there may still be a number of different stages yet to unfold.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Kelly. We will continue following this trial even through the appeal process. So follow us on the 27th of June if you want to get live updates from court.